Jake and Lucas stood at the edge of Blackwood Forest. The sun was setting, shadows grew long. "Last one to the camp is a rotten egg," shouted Jake. He didn't wait for Lucas. He ran. Lucas hesitated. He didn't like the woods, especially at night, but he was no scaredy cat. He took a deep breath and followed Jake. Everyone had heard the stories about Camp Blackwood. It was a ghost town now. They said a fire raged through the camp years ago. Some said it was no accident. People whispered about a ghostly caretaker who still wandered the grounds. They said he was looking for something he'd lost in the fire. Lucas shivered. He wished he hadn't come. The forest was dark and still. The boys' footsteps crunched on fallen leaves. The air grew colder as they walked. Lucas felt like someone was watching them. "Jake, wait up," Lucas called, but Jake was gone. Lucas was alone. Lucas stumbled into a clearing. There it was, Camp Blackwood. Broken down cabins stood like crooked teeth. The rusted shell of a truck sat nearby. Lucas thought he heard a whisper. He stopped to listen. The hair on his arm stood on end. "Jake?" he called out, his voice trembling. The sun dipped below the trees. The forest floor turned to darkness. Lucas felt a cold wind on his face. He thought he saw something move in the shadows. He called for Jake again, but there was no answer. Only the echo of his own voice. Fear clutched at Lucas's throat. He had to get out of there. Lucas turned to run, but the path was gone. He was lost. He spun around, searching for the way out. The shadows seemed to twist and dance around him. He thought he heard Jake's voice calling his name, but when he turned, there was no one there, only the shadows and the silence. The next morning, Jake's parents waited for him to come home, but Jake didn't come. They searched everywhere. Finally, they found Jake's backpack near the edge of Blackwood Forest. They knew then that Jake had gone to the abandoned camp, and they knew that Lucas was with him. People combed the woods for days. They called the boys names until their voices were hoarse, but the forest was silent. There was no sign of Jake or Lucas. The mystery deepened. Where had they gone? Years have passed. The mystery of Camp Blackwood remains unsolved. Some say the boys got lost in the woods. Others whisper about the ghostly caretaker and the fire, but no one knows for sure. The forest keeps its secrets, and the legend of Camp Blackwood lives on.